Welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to create a parent pipeline which will execute the ingestion and transformation pipelines, one after the other for the population data. We'll then create the trigger to execute the pipeline as soon as the file arrives in our Azure storage account. Let's switch over to the data factory and get started. Okay, here we are in the data factory. So let's look at the pipelines first before we go ahead and create the parent pipeline. So this is our ingest population data as we know actually. It checks with the file. If it's there, then it processes its file through and basically takes the file from the Azure storage account into the data lake storage. And once the file's there, this process here takes the file, executes the notebook in Databricks, and transforms the data to our needs, and puts back into the process container in our data lake. So what we want to do is we want to execute the process population data after the ingestion population data. So we could do one thing, which is not to have two pipelines. Instead, we can take that activity and take it at the end of this activity. So the activity for the notebook will only execute once this is succeeded. So that is one option. We didn't do it in the first place. That's mainly because we wanted to be able to execute the ingestion separately from the transformation. That is a good idea. So you got a level of control on what you are rerunning when you come to rerun a pipeline. So let's assume we are not doing that. We are going to keep two pipelines, and now we are going to create a parent pipeline which will execute that first, and then based on the status of that, the other pipeline will execute. So let's create a folder first because we've got some good practices here. Let's continue that. So that will be called execute here. So any kind of execution pipelines would go here, and I'm going to create a new pipeline, and I'm going to call that as PL execute population pipelines. In order to execute the other pipelines, Data Factory gives you an activity which is called execute pipeline. So you can just execute a pipeline by calling this activity. So I'm going to call this one as execute ingest population data. And let's get to the settings. It's quite simple. There isn't an awful lot of options. So in worked pipeline, we need to pick that one which is the PL ingest population data. And we want to wait for the completion of this one before invoking the next one. So let's tick the wait on completion box, and there are no user properties here. So that's pretty much it. So this pipeline now will execute the other pipeline. And we want to do one more execution. So let's bring in the execute pipeline activity again. And this time, this is to execute the process pipeline process population data. So let's get to the settings and then pick that one. So that'll be the PL process population data. And now we need to link the two. So if you look at the green box here, just pull that over into the execute pipeline. This is very similar to hub view link to activities .in, making one dependent on the other. So in this case, we are going to invoke the process population data on success of the ingest population data. But if you wanted to invoke a pipeline based on failure or other conditions, then you can select this red cross. This will execute in case of failure. So the green one is success, which is the default normally, and you can have a failure pipeline. And then you on completion. Completion will be whether it's a success or a failure, it's going to go through to that pipeline, or it's skipped. So when you are skipping a pipeline, you could just get to the next one. So you've got all these options here. So with that, we finished creating our pipeline. The next thing we want to do is we want to have a trigger. So we already had a trigger for our ingest population data. So we got a trigger attached to that one. Let's have a look at that one. So that is TR ingest population data. And that was going to execute when the file arrives in our population folder within our Azure storage account. So we need the exact same trigger, but not on this one now. We want to have that on the parent pipeline. So let's remove this trigger. I'm going to go back again, and you can just click on that just to remove it and close that trigger. And let's go to the Triggers tab. And I'm going to create a new one because we could reuse this one. But Data Factory doesn't let you rename a trigger, unfortunately. So what we'll do is we'll get a new trigger, and then we'll delete this one afterwards. So let's do click New. I'm going to call this one as tr_population data arrives. That is the event, right? Okay, we want to pick the storage event trigger because that's what we want. And we want to pick the storage account from where we want to check for the event to happen. So that's in my pay-as-you-go subscription. And the storage account is the COVID reporting SA storage account. And the container name. We should be able to pick it up from here. That is the population. And the block path is population by age.tsv.gz file. And we want the trigger to trigger on the event of the blob being created. And we can select Start Trigger as well. And click Continue. Click OK. And now the trigger is created as well. Now the next thing to do is we want to delete the other trigger which we don't need. So which is the tr ingest population data. So let's do that. So that's disappear. So we got this trigger and let's go to the pipeline and then attach the trigger. So this is our parent pipeline. So that is this one PL execute population data. And I'm going to add the trigger here. So that will be newer edit. And then we pick the trigger. So which is the tr population data arrived, and it's exactly what we specified in the while creating the trigger. And let's click Continue. And that's the same warning. So we can ignore that and click Continue. And the pipeline doesn't have any parameters, we know that. And we need to publish the trigger to be activated. Publish for the trigger to be activated. So let's click Save. And if we do a Publish All, the trigger will be active. So let's click Publish again and the publishing is completed now. And let's go back to the trigger. So the trigger is started. It's basically running. Waiting for the file to arrive. So the next thing what we'll do is we'll put the file into our storage account and see whether the trigger executes. So let's go to the Storage Explorer. And this time we want to go into our standard storage account, which is the COVID reporting SA. And let's get to the population container. And we want to put the file here. So let me upload the file, and that would be in my folder and the data. And this is the file, the tsv.gz. It's waiting for say, click Open and click Upload. Okay, so the file's now uploaded. Let's switch back to the data factory and see whether the trigger is running now. So yes, it is running. So as you can see, we got two pipelines running, which is the parent pipeline, which is invoked the ingest pipeline. So let's get to the trigger runs. It's easier to do it from here. So as you can see, the tr population data arrived trigger is the one we just invoked, storage events trigger. And let's click on the pipelines. This is the easiest way to browse through to the pipelines and then click on the pipeline. So that will take you to the parent pipeline. As you can see, the ingest population data has already finished, but the process is running now. So you can see clearly here. And let's do a refresh. Okay, so let's click on the status of this one. So if I click on that, that'll take you into the PL process population data. And that's executing the notebook. And if you look here, that will be provisioning the Databricks cluster at the moment. So let's have a quick look. Okay, yes, it is waiting for the cluster. As you know, it takes normally about 3 to 6 minutes to provision a Databricks job cluster. So let's wait for that, and then we'll come back to the pipeline and see whether that's finished. Okay, so the execution's now completed. It took about 6 minutes 6 seconds to process that data. So which is great. Let's go back and understand what's happened very quickly. One more time. So the created this trigger TL population data arrived, which executed our pipeline, which is the PL execute population pipeline, which in turn executed the ingestion, the processed one after the other. So if you go into monitor now, you can see trigger runs because this is a trigger that executed and TR population data arrived. And then you can click from here to get to the parent pipeline. Or if you want to see all the pipelines that executed, you can see here as well. So I normally trigger like to go from here. So that is our trigger that I executed just now, and I go into this one. So that tells you both pipelines that is executed. And then from here, whichever one you want to go to, you can just click through those. So this is an approach you can use to chain your pipelines together and execute in this manner. So that's the end of this lesson. I'll see you in the next one.